It's a brisk morning, land of the Oklahoma. I think about doing some stuff, but I don't know. Nope. Fuck it. I live in the South. It's too cold.
Howdy, howdy. Gravedigger here. It's going to be a week of tech. This episode's going to be mostly a episode about building computers, tearing them apart, swapping parts out, and how simple it actually is. After that, I've got a Google server we're going to be working on for, I believe, the Wednesday show. So I'm going to try and get that up and running and figure out how to work with the server, how to use it. Going to be running Linux. And going to be firing up the old game systems. Went to my storage unit, grabbed everything out. So it's been 3 or 4 years since I've seen all this stuff. I know I have one Wii that needs to be modded. My mother's Wii needs to be remodded. Something happened while I was away. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So here's our first victim. This computer is actually, this one's running Intel, but it's only running at 3 gigahertz dual core, which could be useful, but I don't see it as useful. I have another computer, or another case sitting over here off to the side that is a 3.1 gigahertz or 3.5 gigahertz quad core, but it only has like 2 gigs of memory in it. What I was wanting to do is I was wanting to come through here and see what I could find that was of worth. It looks like got a 500 gig hard drive. Looks like an Asus disk drive from 2014. This isn't on, it's not plugged in or anything. But I do have a ground strap, just in case. Nice, that's 4 gigs of RAM. So we're going to take that and bring it with us. Like, I really like this case, and if I could, I'd rather use this case than the other one, but I'm not entirely sure if this has enough power to process the quad core, so until I have enough time, boom, another 4 gigs. So we're in like Flynn now, boys. Let's see what the hard drive has. Now usually you'll have 2 sets of screws on the hard drive. This one only has 2 screws on one side. Doesn't make a whole bunch of sense. It's not really stabilized by doing that. So I'm pretty sure the other PC case I have only has like 160 gig hard drive in it. And the only real upshot of using the other case is it has a lot more USB ports. But I might have to put everything inside this one, but this one only has 2 RAM slots. And that basically determines these little RAM slots here determine how much you can actually do. And I mean, I know it's a combination of CPU and RAM. strap came off. Pick a new spot. And if it's your first time messing around with a PC, don't worry. It's kind of like Legos. They come apart, they go back together. And there's usually 2 screws. This one only has 3. And it's going to pop out through the front. Alright, so that's it for this computer. It's I'll probably come back and throw that 2 gigs of RAM in there and the spare hard drive. I mean, I might have to go back to this one. It does have a video card on it, but we won't know until I get the other one up and running. Here's our next victim. This is the quad-core i5, 3-something gigahertz, I believe. Pardon me, let me get my hand all in your face. Okay, 2011. Where's the other drive at? Yeah, 2014. So we'll probably run with this instead. Yeah. So we'll pull this one out. And once again, ground strap. Tell you what, you gotta love SATA. It really turned PC building into Legos. Alright, there's that. There's the hard drive. 160 gigs. They're rolling around loose. Not too confident about that. Okay, looks like the sheathing on that one's starting to come back. Yeah, no screws. What the shit? Obviously, I'm not the first one in here. It's a weird little setup they got. Okay. Little key. There we go. So everything looks good. I'm pretty happy with everything I'm seeing so far. Not seeing anything too far off course. I don't really plan on using a disk drive in here, but you never know. Let's go ahead and mount up some hard drives. Let's see what we can get this up to. Pull that back up again. This is really just an old HP, 2 gigs of RAM. And another 2 gigs, dusty. So what I'll probably do, I'll probably take one of these 2 gig sticks and put it back in here, just in case I ever need to fire it up. I'll set you off to the side. I have 4 RAM slots right here. Alright, so let's get to tinkering. We're probably going to need these mount screws. It looks like it has a proprietary screw system. It's not the normal screw you see in these situations. Alright, got one screw. And it looks like, since I don't have any more of these proprietary screws, it's looking like I'm going to have to split these specialty screws here between the hard drive and the disk drive, because what I'm seeing is this space is big enough for a hard drive, and I'm not going to leave something just flopping around in the breeze like that. Never been a good idea. Come on, hands, work with me. Alright, so it looks like we're going to have the screws on one side, because it looks like the proprietary clipping system is this green thing. So I'm going to have to split these between the hard drive and the disk drive. That's simple enough. This, we'll just throw this here in the other tower. And I'm not going to film building the other tower. I don't rightly see a good reason. Because I'm not going to test it. Yeah, it says it's a DVD multi-recorder. So it's a DVD RW, rewritable. And it has some X multi E green stuff written on the side of it. You know, y'all, there's still I still have a third tower floating around this house that I can always take a look at. You see, what I'm trying to see right now is... Alright, so I want to start here. This is our DIMM 1 slot. So that's the first place you want to load your RAM up from. And I always like to stack my RAM in pairs if I can. It looks like I've got two from an HP, one's a Samsung, one's a RAM XL. And these are all PC3, by the way. PC3, 1600, 1280. Alright. Yeah, it looks like I got two Samsungs here. Will forever and always annoy me, people throwing their extra stickers on shit. Alright, so we got a Samsung, one in the Philippines, one in Korea. Go ahead and pull that HP logo off. I just don't like having stickers on there because, you know, your enemy's heat sure I get the pins lined up. Notice there's a notch, and there's a notch in these boards too. And it's fairly simple, it's just plug and play. Oop. Two. We got our other 4 gig. I'll put this at 12 gigs of RAM. And one last 2 gig stick. And always make sure you come behind and check these. If it doesn't seat, there's something wrong. So just come back, pop her out, and push her back in. Make sure you got that offset in there proper. Now, since we're not going to store the hard drive under there, try and get this thing lined up. Alright. Looks like I got bent a little bit at some point. So I've always kind of been a techie. Always been willing to take something apart and see if I can make it better. Which this is one of those situations. Alright, so we got the disk drive set up. Let's get the hard drive set up. 160 gig, that's the wrong one. Where's 500? There's 500. And when you're setting these things up, if you ever have to remember, just make sure this faces backwards. This shit's always tight anyway, but god dang. They did a good job. Trying to figure out exactly which holes I need to use. Alright, so first and last. Yeah, computers just look a lot scarier than they actually are. One of the nice things about SATA, you don't have to worry about jumpers. You can literally take a hard drive out of one computer, put it in another, and 9 times out of 10 that fucker will boot. That's something to always keep in mind when working around a newer PC. Or even if you're just like me and people just give you this shit. Oh, I got a new one, here, take this. And I'm not complaining. That's my only complaint, would be trying to get rid of this stuff again after I've refurbished it. Alright. So we're gonna go drive down. Okay. What I'm trying to do now There we go. Line that up, and push forward. There's that. Doesn't seem locked in. Alright, that is locked in from this position. We're going to do the next one. That way we can just move to the other side and do that install. Alright, so down and forward, release. Awesome. That's freaking simple. I've never been a fan of these lay down tops. I don't know, never got me all giggity. Alright, so our last step, 4 tiny screws. I'm going to go in. So I'm going to aim for less obvious places. I don't waller the hole out first. Yeah, see, I think they do shit like this so it's not as easy to swap. But that ain't gonna stop me. Alright, last 4 screws. And we'll plug everything into a degree. Fire on up. Oh, you would. Another good tip I give people is make sure the screwdriver you're using ain't magnetized. Everything in here runs on magnets and electricity, so if you want to keep using what you got, you might take care of it a little better. Alright, so this is SATA 2 and this is SATA 0. So SATA 0 we're going to use on the hard drive. We'll pull SATA 2 up to the disk drive and then plop that in there, and we'll just plug on in. A couple bits I can use for purdying up. Slide you under there. Slide you over here. Voila. It's a computer. Give me a second, I'll be right back. We'll give her a test. This way, like I said, I haven't done anything to it. Yeah, 3.10 gigahertz Intel Core i5. So that's a quad core 2400 CPU, 14 gigs, 64-bit. Alright, we're ready to start editing. Thank y'all for hanging out with this one. I know it's not terribly interesting watching somebody build a computer, but it's something everybody should know. Alright, so go ahead, shut her down. That fucker's flying, isn't it? This is just going to be a deadhead. It's not going to be connected to the internet. You'd be surprised how much it actually slows a computer down. Alright, so that does it for building my editing rig. Basically took two PCs, figured out which one was best, which one had the best processor, which one had the most RAM slots, and built the strongest PC. I've already rendered one video, and it should be coming out Tuesday as just a special bonus for everybody. But instead of taking an hour to render a 5-minute video, it only took like 3 minutes at best, I think. So it's a lot faster, it's getting the job done, it's never going to be connected to the internet. I want to thank you for hanging out, sticking with me as I guided you through this. I know it's one of my longer videos, but I much appreciate it. If you get a chance, go ahead and hit that like button for me. The way people know I'm here, make it easier for you to find me, make it easier for your friends to find me. And I want to thank you for hanging out. It's been a hell of a epic drive.